Hi everyone, I'm Daniela, and this is my mother-in-law's whiskey cake.
To a bowl, add 170 grams, just over 1 cup of chopped walnuts, and 170 grams, 1 cup of a mixture of raisins, sultanas, and currants.
I'm not a huge fan of raisins, but they are traditional to the recipe, so I am using them. But you can leave them out and just swap in more walnuts. Don't tell my mother-in-law, but I think this would even be great with chocolate chips.
For this recipe, you'll need 115 grams, just under a cup of plain or all-purpose flour. And at this stage, we're going to take 2 tablespoons of that flour and add it to our walnuts and raisins. Give the nuts and raisins a toss so they're completely coated in the flour. This is to make sure they don't sink to the bottom when you add them to the batter. Set that aside.
Preheat your oven to 165 degrees Celsius or 325 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'm using a 9 by 5 inch loaf tin, but 8 inches by 4 inches will work as well, otherwise known as a 2-pound loaf tin. Once you've greased it with butter, make sure to line it with parchment paper. You can line the entire thing with parchment paper, but this cake does lift out fairly easily, so I'm just going to line it lengthwise. I like to tuck my edges over and give them a little crimp so they don't fall in on the batter. To the bowl, add the remainder of the 115 grams, a scant cup of flour. In goes 4 grams, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a quarter teaspoon, 1 gram of salt, 2 grams, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 4 grams, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Just give that a whisk so it's all combined. To a large mixing bowl, add 115 grams, half a cup of room temperature butter, and 225 grams, just over a cup of castor sugar. If you haven't got castor sugar, you can just swap it out for granulated sugar. Castor sugar is just slightly finer in texture. Beat that together until the mixture is creamy and light. Make sure to scrape down the sides of the bowl so everything is well combined. Separate 3 eggs and add the egg yolks to your butter and sugar mixture. Mix these until they're combined, making sure to scrape down the bowl. Starting with the dry ingredients, add 1/3 of your flour mixture. Then add in half of your whiskey. You need 85 milliliters or 3 fluid ounces in total.
You can use whatever whiskey you like, Scottish, Irish, or even bourbon.
Then add in the second third of your flour mixture. Add in the rest of your whiskey. And finally, add in the remaining flour mixture. Give the bowl a good scrape so that you're not missing out on any bits of butter at the bottom. Once everything is well incorporated, stop mixing and set it aside. It's time to whisk up our egg whites. To a very clean bowl, add your 3 egg whites. Make sure your bowl and whisk are very clean. Whisk your egg whites on high speed until they're stiff peaks. Now that they look like this, you'll want to add 1/3 to your batter mixture. You can mix this in quite vigorously. This egg white acts as a lightener for the batter so that it's easier to fold in the rest of the egg whites. Once that's been thoroughly combined, add in the rest of your egg whites and gently fold them in. You do this by running your spatula on the outside of the bowl and then dragging it through the middle, turning the bowl a little bit each time. Once there are no bits of egg whites left, add in the nuts and raisins that we tossed with flour earlier. Gently fold in the raisins and nuts. Pour this into the loaf tin we prepared earlier. Spread the batter so that it's evenly distributed in your loaf tin. And into the oven.
This will need to bake for 1 hour, but I always start checking around the 45-minute mark.
You'll want to let this cool for about 10 minutes in the pan and then run a knife along the sides without the parchment paper and then lift it out and let it cool completely on a cooling rack.
I'm lightly dusting the top of my cake with some powdered sugar, but you could make a whiskey glaze just by combining a few drops of whiskey with some of that powdered sugar and drizzling it on top. If you're looking for more classic British loaf cakes, you have to try my lemon drizzle cake. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you next week.